soft. Cooking also destroys the anti-nutritional factors. Anti-nutritional factors are those that can destroy the nutrients. Anti means which has an antagonistic effect, opposite effect. So anti-nutritional factor means it will destroy the nutrients that are present in the food. For example, avidin. Avidin is an anti-nutritional factor that is present in the egg. So this avidin anti-nutritional factor is present in the raw egg, and avidin will be destroyed when the egg is cooked. This anti-nutritional factor avidin will bind or destroy biotin that is present in the egg. Biotin is a very important B-type vitamin. Similarly, trypsin inhibitors. Trypsin inhibitors are present in certain legumes. They can inhibit trypsin or they can destroy trypsin. And what is trypsin, by the way? Trypsin is the enzyme which helps in the digestion of protein. It is a protein splitting enzyme. So, if it inhibits trypsin, that means protein cannot be digested properly. And this trypsin inhibitor can interfere with the utilization of the protein that are present in the food. So, cooking will help in the destruction of the anti-nutritional factor. When the egg is cooked, avidin will be destroyed. Similarly, when we cook the dal or when we roast the dal, the trypsin inhibitor will be destroyed. And therefore, the anti-nutritional factors will be removed from the food during the cooking process. The appearance of the food can be improved by cooking and serving attractively. So the appearance, right, the look of the food will improve. The presentation that we make after cooking also will help to improve the appearance of the food. Cooking destroys the microorganisms that are present in the food. Milk, when it is milked from the cow, contains microorganisms. And when the raw milk is consumed, the microorganisms will be present in the milk and sometimes it can cause certain types of diseases. That is why milk has to be pasteurized before it is consumed. Similarly, all the foods, all the vegetable and the animal foods, they contain microorganisms. Microorganisms contaminate the food when they are present in the field, when they are processed, when they are handled, when they are transported. In every stage, microorganisms may be present in the food. And these microorganisms can be destroyed if the food is cooked, because microorganisms, they can be destroyed by heat. When the food is exposed to boiling water and high temperature, it will destroy the microorganisms that are present on the food. Cooking also helps to get variety in the meal. So this is very important. The same food can be cooked in different ways, and therefore cooking will provide variety in the meal. Take for example, we take brinjal. Brinjal is one of the vegetable which many of them do not like. But using that brinjal, we can prepare variety of dishes. So all of us know sambar, poriyal, kutu. You can make chutney, you can make puli kolambu, you can make brinjal rice, right? So different types or different varieties of dishes can be prepared using the same food. The same food product can be prepared and presented in a variety of ways so that it is not monotonous for us when we consume the food. Food is cooked to make it more palatable. Palatable means making the food very tasty. So cooking will enhance the taste of the food. The natural flavor of the food is released by various methods of cooking. Certain food, when you smell the food just like that, you will not get the flavor of the food. But when you start cooking, the aroma, the flavor that is present naturally in the food will be liberated. For example, when you take and smell the groundnuts, when the raw groundnuts, when you take and smell, you do not get a big flavor from the groundnuts. But when you start roasting the groundnuts, there is a very fantastic aroma that is liberated from the groundnuts. Similarly, when we roast the maize or when you use garlic or use onions in the preparation, when you roast the garlic or onions, the aroma that is present in the food is liberated. So it will help in the liberation of the aroma, flavor from the food. During the cooking process, the flavoring agents like spices are all the masala items that we add, cloves, cinnamon, the cardamom, all those are called as the spices. And the condiments, fat is the oil, butter, and onions can be added to enhance the taste of the food. The natural flavor of the food is also enhanced during cooking. And apart from the liberation of the natural flavor of the food, you can also add different types of spices to enhance the flavor of the food. And this is possible only by the process of cooking. But however, cooking also has certain disadvantages, demerits. When food is subjected to very high temperature, the heat liable nutrient like vitamin C is lost from the food. Certain nutrients are destroyed when they are subjected to high temperatures, particularly vitamins such as C. Vitamin C will be lost even if the food is kept exposed to the atmosphere. And when it is cooked, most of the vitamin C that are present in the food will be lost. When foods are cooked in large amount of water, the water soluble nutrients are dissolved, and if this water is not used, the nutrients will be lost. Many of the nutrients, particularly the vitamins, some of the vitamins are water soluble. Vitamin B and vitamin C are water soluble. Vitamin B is a B complex vitamin. There are different vitamin Bs that are present, so we call them as the B complex vitamin. They are water soluble. Vitamin C is water soluble, and also many minerals, they dissolve in the water. When we cook the food in large amount of water, and if we discard the water soluble nutrients will be lost. Say for example, we are boiling rice, we are cooking rice, and we are adopting the boiling method to cook the rice. We take plenty of water, we add rice to that, and after the rice is cooked, we may remove the excess water that are present, kanji. We may remove the excess water that are present and we throw away the water. And the water soluble nutrients that are present in the rice will be present in the kanji, which we discard. Therefore, those nutrients are lost. Similarly, when we cook dal in plenty of water, and if we throw away the water soluble nutrients will be lost. Same will be occurring when we cook the vegetables in plenty of water and discard the water, right? So all the water soluble nutrients will be leached into the water, and the water, if it is not utilized, if you are going to throw away the water, discard the water soluble nutrients will be lost, and this is one of the disadvantage of cooking the food. Cooking the food also destroys the nutritive value of certain food. It can destroy the nutrients that are present in the food, like the loss of B vitamins, like the loss of the C vitamins. Sometimes the quality of protein may be reduced due to the destruction of certain amino acids. Structural changes can take place during the cooking, and therefore there can be loss of certain amino acids also. Fried foods are difficult to digest. Fried food, it takes a long time for digestion, and therefore it is difficult for digestion, and it cannot be given for old people, the elderly people, because their digestive system is weak, and it may cause certain problems in the elderly people, small children, or those who have a disease condition. Sometimes baking soda is added during cooking of food. When the food takes a long time for cooking, like when we cook rajma or when we cook some beans, if it takes a long time, we may sometimes add a cooking soda to the food so that it gets cooked easily. So cooking soda or baking soda is added usually to preserve the color of the food. If you add a little bit of cooking soda to the green leafy vegetables, they will look very bright. and to lessen the cooking time. It will get cooked very easily, and also it will improve the texture. If you add the cooking soda to the cooking of Bengal gram, Kondai Kadalai or Rajma, the texture will improve, but at the same time, it will destroy the vitamins. Therefore, cooking soda should not be added when food is being prepared. There are different cooking methods. Cooking can be carried out by various media or no media at all. So we require a medium for the transfer of heat. And sometimes cooking can take place, the transfer of heat can take place without any medium also. So what are the media? The media that is commonly employed in the cooking of food may be water or steam. Sometimes we cook the food in water, like boiling. And sometimes it is cooked in steam, like we make the idlis. And sometimes it is cooked in air when we roast something like groundnuts. Or sometimes we use fat, like in frying. Or sometimes we use combination of all of these. So, based upon the medium in which the food is cooked, we can classify them as moist heat and dry heat. Moist heat involves the media where water or steam is used. Moist heating involves the usage of water or steam. And dry heat involves the usage of air or fat. Fat means oil. Oil or butter or vanaspati, they are fat. In microwave cooking, heat is generated from within the food. Let us now see about the classification of the cooking methods. We classify the cooking methods into three different types. They are moist heat method, dry heat method, and combination method. In moist heat method, the medium used for cooking is either water or steam. In dry heat method, the medium used for cooking is either air or fat. In combination method, both these are involved. Under the dry heat methods, we have different methods of cooking like boiling, simmering, poaching, stewing, blanching, steaming, and pressure cooking. They all of them employ either water or steam for cooking. Under the dry heat method, we have roasting, grilling or broiling, toasting, baking, sauteing, and frying. Frying again can be classified into two types, shallow fat frying and deep fat frying. In the dry heat method, we employ air or fat for the cooking. The combination method, which employs both moist heat as well as the dry heat, is called as the combination method, and under that we have braising. Let us now look into each of these cooking methods in detail.